Chapter 17. While the miracles of Yeshua are considered extraordinary by many, there are form and standpoint of the initiate simply the expressions, the natural expressions of the potential and consciousness. They are a sign, there are reasons for miracles, and I wish to discuss this from the standpoint of the initiatory knowledge that Yeshua and I possessed. By the time I met Yeshua, he was already demonstrating the signs. His level of creation was very high. My task was to assist him to strengthen his car body for his final initiation through the death portal of the high god Horus. This was accomplished, as I have said, through the sex magic of Isis and the alchemies of Horus. Of all the miracles that I witnessed Yeshua perform, the one that is most dear to me is that of the loaves and the fishes. It was a very long, hot day. The disciples, Mary and myself, were following the Master as usual. A very large crowd formed, listening intently upon every word from Yeshua's mouth. We were all enraptured by his vision and his means of expressing. It was as if for several hours we were transported into heaven itself, and I noticed that Yeshua's car had expanded to include everyone. Another sign. When he had completed his speaking, it was late in the afternoon, and filled with compassion for them, realizing that their walk home would take some of them several days, he called upon food to be gathered and shared. So, the disciples, Mary and I, and a few others who joined us from the crowd began to collect food, but when it was all gathered, there were only a few fishes and a few small loaves of bread, hardly enough. It was then that I witnessed a most remarkable event. Yeshua went inside and closed his eyes. I could feel the intent of his prayer, although I did not hear the words. Running the full course of his diet from the base of his spine to the top of his head, I clearly saw a burst of light flowing upwards through his crown into his bow, his celestial soul, and then an energy descended as if in answer to his request, and he placed his hands over the two small baskets and began to hand out the loaves and fishes, breaking them into pieces and handing one to each person himself. It was most remarkable. Over 1,000 people were fed, and the loaves of fishes never adjusted themselves. After the crowd had been fed, Yeshua gave pieces of his disciples and to Mary and myself, and the bread had the most sweet taste, and the fish a wonderful flavor I have never experienced again. Such miracles are natural to a master of Yeshua's caliber, and from the initiatory standpoint, such miracles are the potential of anyone if they practice what is required.